Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. I was volunteering at a nursing home teaching principles of wellness to the staff. We talk about some of everything, and I remember when we first started, they said, some of these questions you're going to ask, people are not going to share. We don't talk to one another. We don't tell our business. We don't say these things out loud. And I was like, yeah, okay. First meeting, people were talking, and it was as if somebody had uncorked something in them and they just were going for it. And it was lovely and it was amazing. And so we met like that, I think, probably weekly, maybe every other week. No, I'm pretty sure it was weekly because it was greatly needed. And then we kind of went down to monthly after a while. But it was really greatly needed, and we brought in chair massage and all kinds of wonderful things. And it was funny, they were like, nobody's gonna let anybody touch them, we don't let people and then it was like, ooh. I remember this one woman coming over, and she was just like, nobody's touching me. So other people were getting chair massage, and then people would come back and go, oh my god, that was whoa. And so she said, well, I'll do it. And she did, and she came over and she put her head on me, and she was crying, and she said, I just realized no one's ever touched me properly. I was like, whoa. At some point, someone asked if I would create some handouts so that they could have some work to do after work so that they could continue to think about it. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not big on handouts because every year I have a stack of them that I have to get rid of. I like people writing their own notes because the more you use of your own senses, the more you heighten your memory. If you're touching it, saying it, seeing it, you're feeling it. So the more you do of that, it jars the memory in you. So I like people writing out their own notes and pulling from something what's important to them, because you could all hear the same thing and what's important to you will be different to each person. So I did these handouts, and they had been getting them for about maybe 4 or 5 times. And this one woman who was really tough, but she would come to every session. They were all volunteer. It was you came if you wanted to. They were always full, and everybody like was engaged. And this woman was kind of tough, and she would just kind of look at me like this the whole time. And one day she said, I need to talk to you. I was like, okay. And she said, with nobody else around. I said, okay. My manager, Janine, was always there with me, volunteering along. And so Janine said, well, I'll wait. And she was like, no, I don't want you in the room. I was like, go ahead, Janine, it's going to be fine. So it takes her about 5 minutes to speak. And then she said, you always giving us these handouts. I said, yeah. And she just kind of stared at me. I said, well, you don't have to do them. It's just for you. It's just for you. She just kept staring. She kept staring. And then she started to cry. And she said, I can't read. I jumped into how can this be? Let's fix this mode. And so I also worked with a literacy program. So I said, well, we can get you into this program, get you a GED. And she said, I have a diploma. I know lots of functioning illiterates, or people who have illiteracy, who function, go to work every day, nobody knows. There's a lot of it in our country. And now that I think about it, almost all of them, when I first encountered them, were frustrated, they were angry, they had like a quick, short fuse temper. And it was all steeped in the frustration that comes with not being able to read. And the shame that's involved with that. Being involved with the GED program, you learn the shame, the weight of that, the embarrassment, the hiding. People know how to hide, and they know what to hide behind, and they know how to look like everything's okay. I mean, I knew a guy who was he worked in insurance, and he was in quality control, like checking the applications of everyone else. And he said, things would be in a certain box and you could see where they were and what they were supposed to do. And he had hid this for years from everybody. But once he learned to begin to read, that woman learned to read, and there was always a smile on her face and a book in her bag. I don't know why this story came up today, but there's somebody in your life, who is struggling because they can't read. And it doesn't take a lot for a person who's been able to get through life without it. So let's begin to help. Sit down, find ways. There's lots of programs and lots of things even available online during this time of shutdown and sit down. If you're hearing me and you're one of these folks, reach out to somebody. I love you.